Hey everybody, today we're going to go over a quick rundown of how to add a new user into Aprima. So there's two different ways to do it. First one we're going to go over is if the office is hosted by CGM, so all their data is on the CGM server. First, you're going to contact CGM, give them the first name and last name of the person that you're trying to create a user for. If you do not have that first name or last name, first call the office and get that first name, last name. So say you get that first name, last name, you contact CGM, they create a username and a password. So they'll give you a user code and a password. And you'll come into here into Aprima and you'll go to Tools, List Editor, System, go down to Users. First thing you're going to want to do always is search for the first name, last name. I'm going to do Smith and Dan, hit search. Now say nobody shows up here, then great, you can just hit new. If you see another Dan Smith in here, either A, the office created that profile already, but they weren't able to log in because they hadn't contacted CGM to get that username and password yet. Or there's someone else in the office with that same last name and first name, and you'll have to differentiate the two. If it's the same person, you never want to have two of the same person in this list, and you don't want to merge the user profiles because that can cause a lot of issues. So just be wary of that. So say, yeah, you do search, nothing shows up here, we'll hit new. We'll put in their first name and last name. And then up here, the top section, the login ID, that is the section where you're going to search the Active Directory from CGM. So you'll put in that first name, last name, or that user ID that CGM gave you. And hit search, and they should show up in this window, and you'll click on it and hit OK. And now that user code will be up here. You can hit OK. So that's how you create it if they are hosted by CGM. Now, if they're hosted by on premises, so they have their own server set up, you are going to have to work with either their IT to have them create a Windows login on the Active Directory for that user. Or if we have access, we can always help do that as well. But I'd recommend working with an IT person. That would be giving them the Windows login with a password. So if that's the case, then you can just go here and you know that they're on that office's Active Directory. You can do that same search, Dan Smith, and you can find them right in here and you'll just click on it. And that will make it so when they log into Aprima, they just use the same username and password as their Windows profile. So if they use the same username and password for Windows login, they'll use it for Aprima. Another benefit to that is that on the logon screen, I'll show you here second. So on the login screen, there's going to be a button on the lower left-hand corner that says login using Windows credentials. And so offices that are set up on premises can use that Windows login user and just hit OK because you've already authenticated yourself that you are who you are by logging into Windows. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let us know. All right, bye guys.